already regularly watching ANC, Teleradio, and Patrol. So he was well aware of the news personalities, but not so familiar with any of the entertainment shows. Mom and the titas were the ones who would always ask to watch ASAP, the Christmas specials in Araneta, and they would always get excited about seeing and meeting the artists. Being home the whole day during the pandemic, Dad started tuning into the Metro channel and asking my sister-in-law Chris if we could have a meal with Sandy Dasa or go to Boracay and all these different places featured by Captain Joy Roa, David Solcan, and Raul Manzano. And Raul's here. And meet the beautiful female hosts. Pero dyan kasama na ako. Eventually, he started talking about ang probinsyano, Darna. In more recent months, he would frequently talk about Showtime and the various segments of the show. Making sure I know what's going on, and kasi ang dami niyang tanong, I have to keep my TV on at noontime para masagot ko lahat ng tanong niya when I see him. Mom, I'm sorry, but Dad learned the new meaning of Marites through Vice Ganda. Needless to say, Dad was a big fan and supporter of Ingles. Mga kapamilya, maraming salamat. You made Dad happy and helped ease the perils of the pandemic and the challenges we faced. Going back in time, I want to share with you how he was a father. I was a martial law baby. I was born in August 1972 and did not experience the luxury of travel because, as you all know, it was not possible for my family to leave the country at that time. But around, I think, not too sure, maybe in the late 70s or 1980, ban was lifted and we were able to travel. I was around 8 years old, an 8-year-old boy, hanging on to my dad's belt tube as we went around Disneyland. Provinciano boy just quietly following him wherever he would go. At around 12 years old, he would ask me to go with him to Pansot and Luna on Sundays, where he had greenhouses filled with orchids. I think this was the same story Beaver shared earlier, but Beaver was a bit older already, so he wouldn't wake up on Sunday, so it was really my turn to go with Dad. You know, I would continue to follow him around inside the greenhouses while he inspected the plants, and if he found one that was dead or not doing well, he would ask me to carry each pot and bring it out of the greenhouse because it needed attention. Truthfully, what I really enjoyed about those Sunday mornings was the drive in one of his cars, and I think that's how I became interested in cars at a young age. These cherished moments with Dad were equally matched with times when discipline was needed. He and Mom were on the same page as far as making sure we did not grow up spoiled and getting whatever we wanted. And I'm sure my siblings will attest to this, we had our fair share of discipline. And we had to kneel down in the corners of their dressing room when we did whatever. So it was an experience with that. Looking back, those times with him were his way of developing a unique relationship with his youngest child. In my 50 years with him, I was reassured of his love, and he openly expressed how he always wanted to have me around him, whether to help him fix his internet, his TV, his appliances, and equipment around the house, and all other reasons for me to drop by and see him. After graduating college, my first work was actually in ABS-CBN. That was in 1995. But on my third year, Tito Joging Gona and Pastor Del Rosario, father of our dear Katamida, Ina Piodeos here with us, asked me to join Meralco. That did not directly ask me, but in my head, I thought to myself, Is this his way of getting me to be around him? If I work with him, I will no longer have any excuse, and he will truly be bossing me around. After 2 attempts, Tito Joy and TSR, as Dad of Ina would be fondly called in Meralco, would not take no for an answer, and I was presented with a management program by Dad's kanan and kaliwang kamay, Leonie de la Llaga. Dad made sure I started from the ground and worked my way up to management. Pinasama niya ako sa mga lineman, inakyat niya ako sa electric pole, and ate lunch budol style on the ground with my fellow linemen. Many days of hardly seeing him in his executive office and getting me to work within all the Meralco teams in the departments and sectors, all the way to the branches and operations outside Metro Manila. In my many years in Meralco, I witnessed and learned from Dad's leadership style, and more than leadership, his ways of humanity that showed me what was most important. Father Tito shared in his homily, Dad exemplified humility and humor. Malasakit, a word said many times, many times, and shown 100-fold more. In the past 3 days, so many people have shared and reshared stories of how God cared for them. In Rockwell's tribute this morning, we heard stories from J-Mac, his personal messenger, Freddy, his security guard, J-Mark, his technical support, helping him with his Zoom and board meetings. Mga kalans niya sila araw-araw and taught him about TikTok and K-pop. From Meralco and Rockwell to those who encountered him while ambassador to Japan, one very clear and very consistent message in all those stories is how that made each one of them feel cared for and made them feel important. Not just them as individuals, but his care even for their families. Sa Meralco noong panahon niya, spouses were specifically invited to a party for Christmas bonuses to be handed to them, and the whole week each year was dedicated for employees to bring their families to Meralco compound and participate in many activities. That was the original and genuine model and advocate of what being kapamilya truly means. This is truly his legacy, how he cared for his employees and fought for them. With the family considered selling its shares in Meralco, Dad fought to make sure that the employees continued to receive their share and their jobs protected by the new owners. Thankful to friendly partners, he fought for Rockwell, and now we see a Rockwell where Dad continued to show his love for employees, and equally, employees love him to the end. And this is the legacy I hope I can carry on. With the struggles that we go through in ABS-CBN, my dear kapamilya, know that I am with you in this fight through and through. I saw how my dad fought for employees and showed me that this was most important. We are still in the trenches of our struggles, but today, I hope to make it very clear to you, I am with you. Dad had similar challenges in taking on roles that his father once had. Dad, I'm sure Lolo greeted you in the gates of heaven and told you, well done. In a similar manner, I have very big shoes I need to fill. Dad, with Lolo, Tito Henny by your side, I hope you three can guide me in the direction that you would take as I face hurdles. With Dad's intercession up there and my immediate family's unconditional support, I hope that when I see Dad again, he will welcome me into his arms and say, good job, son. On behalf of my mom, my and George, Beaver, Mike and Chris, Connie and Martina, maraming salamat for being with us these past few days. Dad, As you take on a new seat up there with the ultimate chairman of the board, our God Almighty, help us in our mission of being in the service of the Filipino. Thank you very much for the life and love you gave me. I miss you already, and I wish that we could have many more years with you. But I know God called you home because you've earned the reward of eternal happiness with Him. I love you very much, Dad.